France, land of revolutions, finds itself on familiar ground. President Emmanuel Macron, in a move that shocked the nation, dissolved the National Assembly, calling for snap elections. This dramatic decision came after a bruising legislative election where his centrist coalition lost its majority, a testament to the rising tide of political fragmentation and the surging popularity of right-wing parties. The stakes are high. Macron's gamble could either solidify his mandate or plunge the country into deeper political uncertainty. The atmosphere in Paris is electric. Speculation is rife about the potential outcomes of this high-stakes election. Will Macron's gamble pay off, or will it backfire, further emboldening the far right and ushering in an era of political instability? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: the future of France hangs in the balance. The French, known for their penchant for protest and political engagement, are glued to the news. Cafes buzz with debates about the future of the Republic. The upcoming elections are not merely about choosing a government, they are about defining the soul of France in a rapidly changing world. The rise of right-wing populism is not unique to France. Across Europe and beyond, we see a similar pattern. Traditional political parties are losing ground, while populist movements, often fueled by economic anxieties, cultural anxieties, and anti-establishment sentiment, are gaining traction. France, with its strong republican traditions and history of social democracy, is now facing this challenge head-on.
Marine Le Pen, leader of the far-right National Rally, has successfully softened her party's image, making it more palatable to mainstream voters. Her focus on economic issues, particularly the rising cost of living, has resonated with many, especially in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic and the war in Ukraine.
The traditional left, meanwhile, seems to be struggling to articulate a clear and compelling vision for the future. This fragmentation of the political landscape, with the centre losing ground to both the far right and the far left, makes it increasingly difficult to form stable and effective governments. It also raises concerns about the future of democracy itself. When trust in institutions is low and political discourse is dominated by extremes, it becomes harder to find common ground and address the complex challenges facing society. Macron's decision to dissolve Parliament is a high-stakes gamble. He is essentially asking the French people for a renewed mandate, a vote of confidence in his leadership and his vision for the country. By calling for new elections, he is betting that the French people will ultimately reject the extremes and rally around his centrist platform.
This is a risky strategy, but it is not without merit. Macron is a shrewd political operator, and he understands that governing with a minority in parliament would be incredibly difficult, if not impossible. He also knows that the longer he waits, the more time his opponents have to mobilize and consolidate their gains. By acting swiftly and decisively, he is trying to seize the initiative and frame the debate on his own terms.
The outcome of this gamble will have profound implications, not just for France, but for the future of liberal democracy more broadly. If Macron succeeds in securing a new majority, it will be seen as a victory against the forces of populism and extremism. It will also give him a stronger mandate to implement his ambitious reform agenda. However, if he fails, it will be a major setback for his presidency and could further embolden the far right. The current political climate in France is a microcosm of the challenges facing democracies around the world. The rise of populism, the fragmentation of the political landscape, the erosion of trust in institutions. These are all trends that we see playing out in various countries.
France, with its long and storied history as a republic, is now on the front lines of this global struggle.
The French people are known for their passionate engagement in politics and their willingness to take to the streets to make their voices heard. The upcoming elections will be a crucial test of their faith in democracy.
Will they choose to reaffirm their commitment to the values of liberty, equality and fraternity? Or will they succumb to the siren song of populism and nationalism?
The world is watching closely. The outcome of the French elections will have ripple effects far beyond the borders of France. It will be seen as a bellwether for the future of liberal democracy in the 21st century. The future of France hangs in the balance. The upcoming elections will determine not only the composition of the next government, but also the direction of the country for years to come.
Will France continue on its current path, embracing Macron's vision of a more integrated and outward-looking Europe? Or will it turn inward, embracing a more nationalist and protectionist agenda?
The stakes are high. The decisions made by the French people in the coming weeks and months will have profound implications for their own lives, for the future of their country, and for the world. The world holds its breath, watching and waiting to see what path France will choose.